And it came to pass after many days that the word of Yahweh came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, Go, show yourself to Ahab, and I will send rain on the earth. And Elijah went to show himself to Ahab, and the famine was intense in Samaria. And Ahab called Obadiah, who was over the household. Now Obadiah feared Yahweh greatly. For it was so, when Jezebel cut off the prophets of Yahweh, that Obadiah took 100 prophets, and hid them by 50 in a cave, and fed them with bread and water. And Ahab said to Obadiah, Go through the land, to all the fountains of water, and to all the brooks. Perhaps we may find grass and save the horses and mules alive, that we do not lose all the beasts. So they divided the land between them to pass throughout it. Ahab went one way by himself, and Obadiah went another way by himself. And as Obadiah was in the way, look, Elijah met him, and he knew him, and fell on his face, and said, Is it you, my lord Elijah? And he answered him, It is I. Go, tell your lord, Look, Elijah is here. And he said, In what have I sinned, that you would deliver your slave into the hand of Ahab, to slay me? As Yahweh your God lives, there is no nation or kingdom where my Lord has not sent to seek you. And when they said, He is not here, he took an oath of the kingdom and nation that they didn't find you. And now you say, Go, tell your Lord, Look, Elijah is here. And it will come to pass, as soon as I am gone from you, I don't know where the Spirit of Yahweh will carry you. And so when I come and tell Ahab, and he can't find you, he will slay me. But I, your slave, have feared Yahweh from my youth. Wasn't it told to my Lord what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of Yahweh? How I hid 100 men of Yahweh's prophets by 50 in a cave, and fed them with bread and water? And now you say, Go, tell your Lord, Look, Elijah is here, and he will slay me. And Elijah said, As Yahweh of hosts lives, before whom I stand, I will surely show myself to him today. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab, and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. And it came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said to him, Is it you, you troubler of Israel? And he answered, I haven't troubled Israel, but you and your father's house, in that you have forsaken the commandments of Yahweh, and you have followed the Baalim. Now therefore send, and gather to me all Israel to Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of the Asherah 400, who eat at Jezebel's table. So Ahab sent to all the sons of Israel, and gathered the prophets together to Mount Carmel. And Elijah came near to all the people, and said, How long do you go limping between the two sides? If Yahweh is God, follow him, but if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him, not a word. Then Elijah said to the people, I, even I only, am left a prophet of Yahweh, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bull for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on the wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bull, and lay it on the wood, and put no fire under. And you call on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of Yahweh, and the God who answers by fire, let him be God. And all the people answered and said, It is well spoken. And Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, Choose 1 bull for yourselves, and dress it first, for you are many, and call on the name of your God, but put no fire under. And they took the bull which was given to them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any who answered, and they leaped about the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them, and said, Cry aloud, for he is a god. Either he is musing, or he has gone aside, or he is on a journey, or perhaps he sleeps and must be awakened. And they cried aloud, and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lances, until the blood gushed out on them. And it was so, when midday was past, that they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening oblation. But there was neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any who regarded. And Elijah said to all the people, Come near to me. And all the people came near to him. And he repaired the altar of Yahweh that was thrown down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, to whom the word of Yahweh came, saying, Israel will be your name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahweh, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 seahs of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bull in pieces, and laid it on the wood. And he said, Fill 4 jars with water, and pour it on the burnt offering, and on the wood. And he said, Do it the second time, and they did it the second time. And he said, Do it the third time, and they did it the third time. And the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening oblation, that Elijah the prophet came near, and said, O Yahweh, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that you are God in Israel, and that I am your slave, and that I have done all these things at your word. Hear me, O Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that you, Yahweh, are God, and that you have turned their heart back again. Then the fire of Yahweh fell, and consumed the burnt offering, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, Yahweh, He is God. Yahweh, He is God. And Elijah said to them, Take the prophets of Baal, don't let one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them there. And Elijah said to Ahab, Go up, eat and drink, for there is the sound of abundance of rain. So Ahab went up to eat and to drink. And Elijah went up to the top of Carmel, and he bowed himself down on the earth, and put his face between his knees. And he said to his attendant, Go up now, look toward the sea. And he went up, and looked, and said, There is nothing. And he said, Go again 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time, that he said, Look, there rises a cloud out of the sea, as small as a man's hand. And he said, Go up, say to Ahab, Prepare your chariot and go down, that the rain doesn't stop you. And it came to pass in a little while, that the heavens grew black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain. And Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. And the hand of Yahweh was on Elijah. And he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel.